Hello Plush Maniacs, welcome back to this unboxing. A couple of weeks ago I purchased the Fury or BOWSER from these new plushes that were released on eBay by Plush Fakers, and the second one that was made was a Fury BOWSER from Bowser's Fury on the Nintendo Switch. So they made a BOWSER alongside this Fury BOWSER, which I will be unboxing right now. And if you have yet to see the BOWSER unboxing, I highly recommend checking that out. So yep, today we're opening this Fury BOWSER. Not really, it's kind of in a small package, but I'm hoping it'll be bigger once I take it out of this. It's quite heavily taped. I forgot to bring scissors. Got the scissors now. We can continue on with this. So here, here's the Fury BOWSER. Looks kind of looks funny. He looks funny. Let's take him out of this. Got the plastic open. Now let's reach in and take out Fury BOWSER. This guy looks goofy, don't you think? So here is the Fury BOWSER Johnson plush that is based off of, you know, Fury World, or Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So if you just look at his face here, this guy just looks so derpy, especially compared to the actual stock photo. That one looks much more serious and rated R compared to this thing. I think it just looks goofy. Like if you look at it from this angle, kind of looks like an animal or something. But now let's get on to the actual review. So like the other BOWSER, it has the perimeter stitching around the eyes, and the eyes itself, the pupils are stitched, as well as the nose. The teeth are very sharp and made of the same felt that the All-Star one is made of. And everything about this plush is just very, very soft, and it also feels very, very sturdy as well. So we have his tail, we have his toes, which they included in the detail. We also have his abdomen right here, which they put the special paint on, like it has in the game, to give it that fiery effect. Let's move on to his arms and bracelets. These are pretty long arms, and as you can see, he's making a big claw shape like that. So you can see they gave him fingers for each of these, and they look very nice and meaty and threatening like that. His bracelets are nice and sewn. So there's his front part. He has a hefty chest. He's nice and buff, like he's been working out. You can see his bones on his chest right there. They're nice and thick. He's been working out a lot. Now let's move on to his shell. They decided to paint the tips of his shells with this red and yellow thing that it's not paint. It doesn't feel like paint. It feels like they ironed it onto this. But it could be incorporated. They might have just painted the fabric and then put it on as a whole. But yes, the shell itself is very good. It's very sturdy. You can't really squish it too much. I'm not really sure if this is how the things actually are. I'm pretty sure it is how its shell is in the game. I'll have to check on that. But yep, this looks very it's not like accurate because the actual thing's like pitch black. But the fakers did the best they could, and they did not have any help from Sine, so they made this practically on their own with no help besides the pictures that were available beforehand. So here's the tush tag with the Japanese text on it. One of you could translate that for me. Then here's the tush tag with the same logo. This thing is not very big either. I don't think it's I think the BOWSER is actually bigger than that. But I'll save that for the comparisons later on. So yep, this is the Fury BOWSER. I think my version looks kind of goofy, but I'm guaranteeing you these will look different depending on. They'll just look different for every single plush. I don't think they'll all be uniform and look the same. So I'm happy with this plush. I'm not disappointed with it. I'm glad they made it, and I'm glad that I have it. So there's that, and now let's move on to the comparisons. Okay, here's the guy I unboxed earlier, Fury BOWSER. And I have 3 different BOWSERs that I will compare this one to. Let's start off with its other unique fake counterpart, and that is BOWSER Johnson. So right away you can see that this is just more massive than this one. Like everything, it's taller, it's wider. It's just like I said, yeah, more massive. Let's see if you can see the side view of here. It may not look like a big difference on camera, but this one just looks like it's heftier, and it has a lot more oomph to it compared to this. This was actually skinnier and tinier than I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of big, like at least this tall, but no, it's this tall and it's a little bit shorter than this. But these two look very good together because they went in the same game together with 3D World and Bowser's Fury. So especially you BOWSER fans, I definitely recommend getting both of these if you can. They're around $25 to $26 on eBay, and both of these I got from China. So you'll have to import this from China, and it took a long time. This one took almost a month, but this one came quite quick. So this one's just a little bit shorter in terms of inches and a tiny bit skinnier, but I am overall more impressed with this. This one still has some great details on it, like the good stomach detail, his buff chest, the good paint details on the stomach, and they both have good shells. But I just say that the BOWSER is like more impressive, and I think you'd be more happy with getting this than you would be getting this, because like I said, I expected this to be a lot bigger than it was, and it does look a little goofy, I have to admit. But this thing looks like it could be a real Sanai cat BOWSER plush. So these are still very, very good fakes. We have to give them credit where credit's due. These are very good, both of them, even though this thing's a little silly. So let's move on to the next comparison, and that is just the All-Star BOWSER. And these are about the same size, or about the same height. Let me take this off the tripod just to show they're about the same height right there. This is a little taller only because the hair goes up a little further. But this is a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier, which explains its greater height difference with that. Let's turn them over to the side just to show that this one is a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier than that. But the quality on the All-Star BOWSER is still, it's untouchable. It's untouchable. No fake can ever beat the quality of this masterpiece of a plush. Even this BOWSER can't beat the quality of this All-Star BOWSER. Now there's not really much to compare in terms of materials because they're two technically separate characters. But let's move on to our final comparison back on the tripod, and that is of the All-Star Dry BOWSER Johnson. And I know there's not really anything that they have in common with each other besides they're just evil, different variants of the regular BOWSER Johnson. But I just wanted to see how these two, or I wanted to say that these two look very good together. Like the white and the dark gray look very nice together, and both of these are just fantastic additions to the BOWSER collection. And if you are a huge BOWSER fan like I am, like Mr. McCormick is, then I recommend getting every BOWSER plush you possibly can. Now I know that there is also a dark BOWSER and a different Mario and Luigi BOWSER. I forgot the name. It's like Crackletta, I think. There's a different one like that from the Mario and Luigi games that I might get in the future just to complete the whole BOWSER collection. But for now, this is a small fraction of what I have in terms of the BOWSER collections, because back there on the shelf behind me there is a lot, and I mean a lot, more BOWSERs that I could show, but we don't have time for today. So that about wraps it up for today's Fury BOWSER unboxing. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below, and if you will end up purchasing it in the future. Let me know what you think about it and see if you're impressed or not impressed or disappointed with us. Just give us all your general thoughts on any of these BOWSER plushes, really. And make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future unboxings, and also make sure to check out our past unboxings, because we are sure that there is a plush we have open that you may want to check out. And like I said, we also have an unboxing of this that you can watch and get an in-depth review of. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. Make sure to join our Discord and subscribe for future videos. Goodbye.